secretary in his 30s, and all these people around Kennedy.
On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets sent cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin into orbit around the globe.
The first Sputnik in '57, and then Yuri Gagarin going into space in '61, terrified the American people. People were sitting around and talking about what would we do if the Russians had arms, missiles, whatever, on the moon, and could shoot. We were making the stuff up, but shoot at us at will, and we'd have to surrender. You know, then we had to choose better red than dead. That's what people were thinking then.
In what would become a spiraling series of superpower moves and countermoves, just 3 weeks after the Soviets' manned launch, the U.S. sent astronaut Alan Shepard into space. And President Kennedy promised even greater heights.
We choose to go to the moon.
A man on the moon, walking on the moon? Now, in this decade?
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
You gotta be kidding. But Kennedy wasn't kidding.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
This bold push into space was also seen as an aggressive manifestation of the Cold War. And so was a Kennedy-supported CIA scheme in April of 1961 to land Cuban exiles in their homeland to ignite an uprising against Fidel Castro. When the mission failed, leaving the exiles stranded at Cuba's Bay of Pigs, America and the president were humiliated. 3 months later, as if sensing American weakness, Khrushchev demanded that all Allied forces be removed from Berlin.
We cannot and will not permit the communists to drive us out of Berlin, either gradually or by force.
Kennedy put the United States pretty close to a war footing. A lot of people like me got draft notices that looked like we were going to war.
For the second time in the century, Americans faced the threat of war over Berlin. But now, both sides had nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them. No president ever spoke more frankly to the nation about the real possibility of nuclear war.
In the event of an attack,